Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan. Okay, enough. Cut to the chase. Okay, now, the Ginyu Force EZAs dropped. People are pretty upset about them. And certainly I would say that the Ginyu Force characters, they are not living up to, the legacy that they once had. Recoome Guldo specifically, I think... I mean, maybe this will surprise people. They may be one of the better sub-EZAs ever. They might be. I mean, it's not really a very long list, is the thing. Sub-EZA characters are not typically that good. Kind of like a collective issue for the Ginyu Force characters is going to be that, like, we need more Ginyu Force units to really help out. Like, the main issue with this character right here is this. If they are not on rotation with a Ginyu, it looks potentially very dark. Very bad. Like, without this is where shit gets really scary. But, like, you know, in the Ginyu showcase right here, right? Like, look. So, this is against this Goku Black and Zamasu boss. This Goku Black and Zamasu, this is over 6 million that they're supering for right here. And Recoome Guldo eat this. This is a sub-EZA character. This is what Tech God Goku did. So, I understand that maybe, you know, again, I'm not going to go super crazy for the Ginyu Force characters because I don't think the Ginyu Force is going to actually get the help it needs, which would make all these Ginyu Force characters even better. But, I mean, this is a good EZA, this Recoome Guldo. Like, they are not the issue. And it's just this, which is more so... I mean, it's not the biggest deal, but, like, that would be their weakness right there. Again, this unit I'm very favorable to. Ginyu could have had some slight alterations to make him feel better, and Berter and Jace, I think, could have been much better. But this character, I feel like they did good. So, I don't know. I mean, we already within 2 seconds I showed, like, their ridiculous top-level tanking. Let's just do, like, a nice normal run on Tao's team, and, you know, just see some of the numbers and stuff like that they'll get. Keep in mind that in terms of, like, 220% leader skills or anything like that, it is pretty much, it's just Tao's team, right? Like, we're running them on Tao's team, and that's basically it. Here's what we have right here. Again, it's just Tao in terms of 220% leads. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump in and see how good they work. Yeah, let's go. All right, guys, we're hopping into an event right here. Yeah, see, this, perfect. Oh, Ginyu's in slot 7, though. That's good. Okay. Within 2 seconds of this video, well, not really 2 seconds, but you guys know what I'm saying. We're able to show the character's top-level strength, which was, you know, tanking a 6+ million super as a sub-EZA. Let's not rewrite history and pretend that's bad. Right, as a sub-EZA character. But here's their weakness, is we only have just AGL Ginyu in terms of relevant Ginyu Force characters. That's their problem. Without Ginyu on rotation, rather than have guaranteed guard, we have 70% guard. Which, although, to be fair, chance to guard used to be significantly worse because of the fact that we didn't know. But now they created a guard indicator. So, like, we can see that they are guarding. The 70% proc did, in fact, activate right here. So, okay. Now, Recoome Guldo have to get hit 5 times to fully build up their passive. Let's keep that in mind. All right, I jumped into this fight. This fight oftentimes is very tough. This Universe 6 fight against Hit. Because he's a dodge-canceling boss. But, like, kind of like with the structure... Well, I guess besides Berter and Jace, who will probably get fodderized, this team will be able to work effectively, I think. And, I mean, Hit is another top-flight damaging boss that would be great to show Recoome Guldo tank. Now, we saw that attack debuff right there. That's their super attack effect. Their super attack effect, they get 50% attack and defense for 1 turn, supreme damage to the enemy, and then they greatly lower enemy attack and defense. And then, oh, we dodged a super attack. Perfect. Okay. Off to a good start right there. You know, there's a chance that the guard would not have worked, but we did get the lucky proc right there. So, okay, cool. Again, I you know, Ginyu, it's like, man, you know, he needed a little bit more strength. Because remember, he's on a different, he's a main Dokkan Fest EZA to you are. Birder and Jason, Recruitment Goldo, I mean, remember, they're sub EZAs. I do not compare them on the same level as I do Ginyu. No way. Alright, so now, I mean, this is gonna, the thing about using these Ginyu Force characters, and this leans into what everyone hates about these fights this year, is how long they can kind of go on, right? So, I mean, the Ginyu Force characters, like, none of these units are going to be putting out top-level, top-flight damage. That's just not happening, right? Like, Goku Ginyu, I mean, if we go into Festival of Battles, Goku Ginyu could get to good damage towards the end. But, like, I mean, that, you know, that's it. Towards the end, he gets the good damage. We will do a festival run for Goku Ginyu. We're going to do runs for some of these characters and, you know, see how that's going to go. All right, we'll just keep going through this run. We probably only really need to do this run. I guess they do also, Recruitment Goldo, in these videos, I do like to show all of their abilities. They do also have a seal and stun ability from their passive. So I think we'll just do this run. I already showed their top flight tanking ability. And then if we would head over to just some fight where we could, you know, use debuffs, you know, get the stun, get the seal, show that. I think we'll be good. But I mean, like comparatively, like of the 3 EZAs, I think Recoome and Goldo, they get the job done of what they're intended to accomplish the best. Does that make sense, right? That makes sense? That makes sense? It makes sense. They do what they're supposed to do the best of any of them. For sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. For sure. Alright, guys, continuing along here. Let's see what Recoome and Goldo. So we're up to 872k. We've been hit 5 times, which means they are fully built up right here. I mean, they, of course, will link incredibly well with Ginyu. They do link slightly better with Birder and Jace. So, I mean, we could definitely have a rotation, like a you know, next time Birder and Jace come back around, like we have Recoome and Goldo linked up next to them with maybe Ginyu as a floater and their stats to be a little bit higher. So, link set here is Frieza's army, Frieza's minion, the Ginyu Force, Brutal Beatdown, Signature Pose, Loyalty, and Fierce Battle. Do not fucking ask me why is there a Frieza's army link, okay? Which, very self-explanatory, right? And then why the fuck is there a Frieza's minion link also? Don't ask me, man. I don't know. I do not know. It's very silly. That is like a relic of, you know, 2015, 2016 Dokkan slapping our assholes is what that is right there. All right, let's see what Recruitment Goldo get us for right here. 12 million. So that's about the level they're going to do, which of course is pretty pathetic damage, but I mean, they will be able to hold down slot 1. I mean, in almost the entire game outside of like Festival, or like, you know, one of the bosses like launch from the, you know, exciting heroine battle event that supers for like 900 million. Like besides Festival or one of those type of bosses, like Recruitment Goldo can pretty much tank everything. So that's definitely good. That's definitely good. All right. I mean, we could go into Goku Ginyu right here, but I think I'm going to refrain from doing that. I mean, regular Ginyu, getting a couple of more stacks, more than 1, would be good. I mean, we're going to fight this hit. Hit is very scary. If you guys are curious, that goddamn Angel Super Saiyan Goku missed the super attack dodge. It's so funny. That Super Saiyan Goku, he is, I think, way better than the Tech Vegeta in Festival. But out of it, he's definitely not, like, I feel like I have him get killed way more than I see the Tech Vegeta get killed, right? Okay, I mean, Frost is... Okay, he is designed to just instantly super and instantly stun. So let's just come back when we get to Hit. How about we do that? Alright, guys, time to fight Hit. Remember, Hit is pretty scary. Also remember, okay, yeah, so we could get up above 1 million defense right there for them. So next to Birder and Jason, remember, the amount of support active right now for Recoome and Goldo is really crazy. And then having all these links up right here is also really crazy. So it's going to allow them to work super well. I will do this. I think we're probably just going to die. Probably. I think so. What we'll do is we'll, if Jason Birder gets smoked right here, we will just go ahead and take a look at Recoome Guldo's stun and sealing abilities afterwards, and then we'll finish up. All right, so we got the Dokkan attack with them. They're at, what, 15 million is their attack stat? Yeah, it's 15 million down there. Okay. Sure. All right, 15 million attack stat. Definitely not very, you know, gargantuan. Let's just say that. All right, how much damage should we do to hit? Watch this. Kerblamo. We did a fraction of one of his 50 health bars, man. How good, how good. All right, up to 16 million right there. But it's just... I mean, they could do a little bit, but, I mean, their main job is to do this. All right, let's see how we tank right here. Double digits, yeah. I mean, that's what they'll be able to do. They, again, as I said, they succeed in exactly what they're trying to do as a unit. Like, I think they're a 100% success. It's, you know, Jason Birder, who, I mean, it's, a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're such a heavy dodge character, though, in a meta that has dodge canceling everywhere. Like, I go to try and go to, like, a lot of these fights, and there's going to be dodge canceling. All right, we're at double digits right there. On Hit's third turn, though, he does get the big attack buff, so we're probably going to get smoked at that point, but okay. All right. Sure. Let's just come back for our next rotation again. Let's keep it going. I floated Ginyu off, so there's a chance Recoome Guldo won't be guarding. And if they're not, we're cooked. All right, guys. Well, this was perfect. We did end up seeing, how do I word this? We saw Recoome Guldo's best in their video, in this video, and we're seeing their worst. We did not, so they have a 70% chance to guard without Ginyu. We failed that. And the rest of our rotation is dodge canceling as well, so we're dead. Hit, on his third turn, starts to hit really fucking hard. So we're dead. It's over. And he dodge cancels, so it's not even like we could YOLO out of here, right? Yeah, that's, you know, that's what could happen against these big bosses, and that's why Recoome and Guldo, as good as they are with Ginyu on rotation, their structure will work a lot better if Ginyu was the leader of the team, and if there was two Ginyus, right? Which is back in 2022 when the Ginyu Force team was so powerful, you know, third best team in the game or whatever when they first came out. There was two Ginyus, right? So it's like, now, if we would get more Ginyu Force characters, yeah, we'd be in business, but I am not really thinking that's gonna happen. All right, guys, we're coming in right here. Okay, yeah, let's do this. This looks good, actually. So we'd be able to have them, you know, with all their links up and stuff like that. Here, we could show, in this portion of the fight, Recoome and Guldo, their stun and their seal abilities that they do have, which could be useful if we're going to do Battle Hard and Formidable Foes or an Extreme Super Battle Road stage. So just baseline for the character, they will guaranteed seal the enemy's super. So, I mean, that works really well, again, in not really Battle Hard and Formidable Foes. Most of the fights and phases in Battle Hard and Formidable Foes are immune to sealing, so that doesn't really help too much. But in Extreme Super Battle Road, I mean, they go in slot 1, they seal whatever enemy we want. That's very helpful. And then if Ginyu is on rotation, they guaranteed stun the attacked enemy. So those were not guaranteed before their EZA. No, it was a high chance for the stun. Now it's guaranteed. There's the seal and the stun, and they attack and defensive debuff as well. So they can, I mean, if Ginyu's on rotation, they could apply every single debuff to an enemy, which, I mean, is good. But, I mean, it's not, you know, it's not as good as debuffs in Expedition 33, right? You know, unlike that game, the bosses in here, I mean, the nasty ones, they are all resistant to all that shit, right? So we can't really rely on that against the big guns. All right, there we go. There is the Recoome and Guldo. Maybe we'll do one more rotation where we get AGL Gogeta's active with them, and then we'll finish up after that. Alright guys, time for a little bit of fun. Alright, we can pop AGL Gogeta. We could get his godly, god tier active skill out, you know, for the huge monster increase in stats. We could see what Recoome Guldo do right here, and then we can finish up. Again, I'm pretty favorable for Recoome Guldo, but, you know, it's... like, what holds them back is, like, if we could just run them even without Ginyu and Jason Birder, that would be ideal. But, I mean, you can't run them without Ginyu, right? And Ginyu does feel a bit underwhelming, for sure. Alright, so there's this. Again, we have the Gogeta active up. Let's go and see the stats we're going to get right here. Jason Birder, their support is pretty crazy as well. Alright, let's see what we get. Okay. They are fully built up. We do have the full build up. They're up to 18 million at the start right there. Okay. And then remember, they do have a couple of additionals that they could potentially do. So there we go. There is the Recoome Guldo. Again, I would consider myself very favorable to this character, but, I mean, they would be a lot better if the Ginyu Force was going to continue to get help, right? Like, if the Part 2 LR's Ginyu Force... You know, these EZAs could be a lot better. We'll see what exactly is going to happen, though, with the Part 2 LR. Or, like, how it's going to... Like, man, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Look at this, dude. This Broly, who, you know, used to be immortal. And it's like, we're, like really starting to hammer him, dude. Doing a lot of damage to this guy. Sheesh. Alright guys, so there was the Recoome and Guldo EZA. Again, I like them, but, I mean, the Ginyu Force overall problem does exist for them, right? Just like all these Ginyu Force characters. So this is Brutal Power and Psychokinesis, Recoome and Guldo. Leader skills, Planet Namek Saga, category key 3, and 150% of stats. Passive skill, Unprecedented Super Weapons. They get 200% attack and defense at the start of turn, 30% damage reduction, a 70% chance to guard, and then they seal the attacked enemy's super attack for 1 turn. When guard is activated, they get 100% defense, and an additional that has a 50% chance to be a super. Again, remember, a dodge would trigger this if they are guarding, right? So, like, if we'd have Ginyu on rotation and we dodge, this would still get triggered. Then when attacking, they get 50% attack and defense. For every attack received, they get 20% attack and defense up to 100%. And then if there's an ally whose name includes Ginyu in the turn, they guaranteed guard, get 30% damage reduction before attacking, and then they guaranteed stun the enemy for 1 turn. So, I mean, you know, the guaranteed stun, Battle Hard on Formidable Foes, Extreme Super Battle Road, I mean, we have some places where that could be useful. Their super attack is the Psycho Eraser. They get 50% attack and defense for 1 turn. They do supreme damage to the enemy, and then they greatly lower enemy attack and defense. Their 12 key multiplier is 140%. Ling set, this is a major issue besides when we're with a Ginyu Force character, is Frieza's army, Frieza's minion, the Ginyu Force, Brutal Beatdown, Signature Pose, Loyalty, and Fierce Battle. Keep in mind, too, that the difference between these Ginyu Force characters with and without their links is massive. And that would go for link leveling as well. I mean, let's look at the Ginyu Force link, right? Goes from 20, well, I guess only 25% attack to 5%, you know, chance to crit. But you look at, like, some of these, right? Like, look at Frieza's army. 20% defense, and then it's 10% attack, 20% defense. Frieza's minion, 20% attack, 20% attack, and 10% defense, right? And then once you're talking about all of this, right? Signature Pose, Brutal Beatdown, like, Loyalty gives damage reduction. There's a lot of stats you'd be leaving on the table. These are definitely characters you do want to link level, right? So there's their link set, and here are their best linking partners. And again, it's pretty much just the Ginyu Force that we're going to need to pair them with. That's going to be super, super important. Then, go ahead and take a look at the category teams that they are available to be run on. Right now, remember, they only have the one 220% lead right now, and that's Tau. They, of course, are on the Planet Namek Saga category team. They're also over here on the Ginyu Force category as well. I mean, I really would like to potentially see another Ginyu Force character come out, but I'm not very optimistic it's going to happen. Then they're also on the Seekers of the Dragon Ball Seeker category, which, you know, just feels like it's getting buffs quite often these days. A lot of the Diamond characters are going to be on it, so that'll be good. Then they're also on the Join Forces category. No Join Forces characters in 2025. Well, like new characters, right? EZA, sure, but look at that, because tags exist now. So I'm sure we'll still see Join Forces characters, obviously, but tags will probably take precedence over this for quite a while. Join Forces, we'll see. We'll see how it's going to look. Then, Recoome and Guldo are on the Terrifying Conqueror team. You know, kind of like the major villain team, I suppose we could say. They're also over here on the Signature Pose team, Special Pose. Right? So there's that, Special Pose category. They're also here on the Space Traveling Warrior category team. Oftentimes, that's a relevant category, so we'll see what'll happen with that. And then finally, they're down here on the brand new Mission Execution category, which I do like because it is essentially a category for minions. Characters that did not have a lot of categories, like Hellfighter 17, Hachiak, Rildo, Deborah, right? Characters like that getting, you know, new categories. I am, you know, I'm pleased by that. I think that's really good. So there we go. There is the EZA Recoome and Guldo. I mean, I think Birder and Jace and Ginyu could have been better, but this character, I think, kind of hits the mark, right? I do think so. So let me know what you guys think. I'll catch y'all next time.